This is WSVI Channel 8 News, the voice of the Virgin Islands, starting now.
If ever I want to come back to life after death, if I couldn't be a Virgin Islander, I want to be a Puerto Rican or a Trini.
News Channel 8, brought to you in the Virgin Islands by Omega XL.
And I ordered this thing and I got it, and I'm pain-free, and it's all because of Omega XL.
We've had a quiet week in terms of tropical cyclones as the 2019 hurricane season continues. We usually have a peak in September and then a secondary one in October before the season eventually fades towards the middle of late November. So by November 30th, officially the hurricane season ends. But right now, there are no tropical cyclones to talk about. We do have quite a bit of Saharan dust, however, across the island chain, particularly around Jamaica, Dominican Republic, and Haiti. But still, we'll see those thunderstorms rumbling across Havana. Out towards the Lesser Antilles, it's still very hazy for most areas, down to the leewards into the windwards, and the intertropical convergence zone still hovering around, but will likely fade as we go through Friday, so only a scattering of showers expected around Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, and then down towards Georgetown, only a brief shower at a high of 32 degrees Celsius. So that's your Caribbean forecast, and that's it from me.
This is News Channel 8.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining in today. Just 1 month ago, we successfully opened schools for the 2019-2020 school year. We were pleased to see students happy to return to school and teachers eager to teach. The driving force behind our ability to open schools on schedule was the hard work of our committed employees. As such, the VIDE expressed its gratitude with an appreciation breakfast in the St. Thomas-St. John district and an appreciation lunch in the St. Croix district. During the month of October, we're excited to continue expressing our gratitude and appreciation to our employees as we celebrate National Custodial Workers Day on October 2nd and National School Lunch Week from the 14th to the 18th of October. Custodial staff, thank you for keeping our learning and workspaces clean. Kitchen staff, thank you for the hot, nutritious meals you prepare and serve our students daily. Please enjoy this special time in your honor. Parents, October is Hispanic Heritage Month. We ask you to help us celebrate by learning one fact you did not know about the Hispanic culture with your children. Take them to participate in the scheduled VI Puerto Rico Friendship Day activities and continue this journey with our friends from the British Virgin Islands on VI BVI Friendship Day. As we end the month with Halloween, I ask all students to be safe, responsible, and have fun. As previously mentioned at the start of the new school year, the time has come to transform our public education system. To do so, it's going to take all of us. During the month of October, the VI Department of Education will continue its strategic planning with stakeholders to ensure we achieve our overarching goals of expanding and strengthening early childhood education and increasing career and technical education and workforce opportunities for students, both of which support Governor Bryan's Cradle to Career initiative. Also, the building of new schools and facilities and improving the department's organizational culture, customer service, and operations. With an overall proficiency rate of 24.3% in reading territory-wide and an overall proficiency rate of 9.8% in mathematics territory-wide, student achievement remains our #1 priority. Schools across the territory will complete their respective school improvement plans during the month of October, where goals and benchmarks will be set and used as a roadmap to acquire student achievement and school improvement on a whole. In the meantime, parents, visit usvi.startingsmarter.org, a website created just for you to help you understand your child's scores on the Smarter Balanced Assessment better. The scores from the end of last school year will arrive this month. Be sure to look at the website and share with other parents in your community. Also, remember to get your login information from your child's school to monitor his or her grades using the Power School Parent Portal. During the month of October, you'll find that many of our professional and support staff will participate in professional development at the annual AFT Teach Conference, scheduled to take place in the St. Thomas St. John District on Friday, October 18th and Monday, October 21st in the St. Croix District. We wish you all a productive PD Day. It's that time again, the time when our students hit the courts and fields. Are you a Carib, a Ray, a Barracuda, a Chicken Hawk? Whatever you are, be sure to come out and support our student athletes. During the month of October, our students will play tackle football and volleyball on the senior high level, flag football, cross country, and volleyball on the junior high level, and flag football and cross country on the elementary level. Visit the department's website to view the schedule of our games, and remember to read our monthly newsletter.
This is News Channel 8.
WAPA is not the only utility catching it from its customers.
California's powerful private utility, the Pacific Gas and Electric Company, is facing a state investigation and a blizzard of lawsuits over whether its transmission lines set off the catastrophic fire that killed 85 people in the Northern California town of Paradise. Now, a year after that fire, PG&E is in more trouble. This time it's over the company's decision to shut off power to more than 500,000 Californians and potentially 2 million over a windstorm continuing through Thursday. PG&E says its action was intended to prevent another major blaze. Now it is facing condemnations for mismanagement and calls to break up the company or fire some or all of its board of directors. California Governor Gavin Newsom acknowledged the utility responded to protect public safety amid windy and dry conditions. He suggested it was because PG&E has historically failed to maintain its lines and keep them free from flammable vegetation. I'm outraged because it didn't need to happen, Newsom said of the shutoff. They're in bankruptcy because of their terrible management going back decades. They created these conditions. PG&E filed for bankruptcy protection and is seeking a rate increase to recoup potential losses after the fire in Paradise destroyed 13,500 homes and total damages of $7.5 billion to $10 billion. California's Public Utilities Commission is now considering breaking up PG&E into regional companies, forcing changes in its management, or converting the company to a public utility. Commission President Michael Picker says he wants guarantees that PG&E can make reforms to protect public safety. He also said this process will be like repairing a jetliner while it's in flight. Crashing a plane to make it safer isn't good for the passengers. PG&E insists it's serious about protecting the public. Explaining its decision to enact power outages, the company's vice president for wildlife safety said, "We are doing everything we can." State officials are skeptical. They blame PG&E's equipment failures for as many as a dozen California wildfires.
There are things you just want more of, like cat videos, your favorite series, vacations, delicious subs. That's why Subway brings you new 2 for $10 footlongs. Choose between 5 of our most satisfying, melty, and crave-worthy signature sub favorites. Get more of what you love. Every day from 4 p.m., come in for 2 for $10 footlongs. Make it what you want, only at Subway USVI restaurants.
Chevy's the only brand
to earn J.D. Power Dependability Awards across cars, trucks,
and SUVs
4 years in a row.
Since more than 32,000 real people,
just like me,
and me,
took the survey that decided these awards.
It was only right that you hear the good news from real people
like us.
Current competitive owners can get $4,750 total cash allowance on most Equinox models. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Was that an earthquake? No. What do you do if there's an earthquake?
Drop, cover, and hold on.
What does that mean?
You drop to the ground, take cover underneath a sturdy table or desk, and hold on until the shaking stops.
What if there's no table or desk?
Stay away from the walls, windows, and doorways. Use your hands to cover your head and face and crouch in a corner of the building.
But what if you're outside?
Go to an open space away from buildings, trees, street lights, and utility wires.
Blended for the way we live our active lives. All natural, no side effects. Delivered right to your door anywhere in the Virgin Islands. 1-800-852-3780.
This is News Channel 8.
First, I would like now to take this opportunity to introduce our beautiful, awesome queen for VIPR. Please stand up y saluda. You know, kind of jealous. I wanted that crowd, but, you know, it wouldn't fit my head. I want to say a few words in terms of my relationship with Eddie Ortiz. Eddie and I used to fight almost every week. We used to yell at each other. He will hang up on me, I'll call him back, hang up on him. Never laugh. Yes. And why? Because Eddie wanted what was best for his community. And he will do whatever it takes to make this a better community. I cannot tell you the amount of people that benefited from the hard work that Eddie did for his community. I cannot tell you the amount of children that will come here on Christmas, on Three Kings Day, and get a gift from Eddie Ortiz. I cannot tell you the amount of people that benefited from having better service in terms of roads and lights and everything else because of Eddie Ortiz. And I cannot tell you how proud I am to say that I knew him as a brother, as a friend, as a compadre, as everything. Because Eddie Ortiz was just an awesome force to be reckoned with. And I'm telling you right now that even though unfortunately he passed away, his spirit and legacy lives on. It lives on in every single person that lives in this community. No one whatsoever can say that Eddie Ortiz turned his back on his community, because even to his last day, he was fighting. And I can tell you a story that really touched me a lot. In his last few months of his life, we were here for the Three Kings Day. And I used to be one of the Three Kings. And I give it up because it was time for the younger generation to take over. Eddie came to me that day and he asked me, can you be one of the Three Kings? And I'm like, well, no, it's already assigned to somebody else. He said, as a favor to me, please be one of the Three Kings. Little did I realize that it was going to be the last time that I dress up as one of the Three Kings for Eddie. Sorry. And to me, that meant a lot. That really meant a lot. So it's kind of emotional right now because, it's something that I cherish. It's something that I will always remember. And it's something that is so impactful to me, because that was his legacy to me. Eddie Ortiz will be remembered not only as a community leader, but as a father, an uncle, a brother. Someone who will never turn your back on you. And someone who will always buy you a beer, but that's another story. So in saying this, I would like to say that it is, to me, once again, a tremendous pleasure and honor to be here to name this street after one of the greatest. And there have been streets that have been named after Hispanic leaders. But I do believe that this is the first main street that has been named after a Hispanic leader. Because throughout Monbijou and Glen and State Prophet, there are, yes, numerous streets that have been named, once again, after Hispanic leaders. But this is the main road. Ms. Ortiz? It's officially the sign. Eddie Ortiz Drive, ladies and gentlemen. I got these signs back and forth will be put on one end, well, according to Public Works, yes. We put them on one end of both streets so they can be seen from either angle. And I really want to thank Public Works for this opportunity. And again, little photo op.
And to the Ortiz family, friends, everyone that has been gathered here today. You know, it's unbelievable at times how people come into your life. And I knew Eddie Ortiz from 1987 when I joined the Virgin Islands Police Department. And at that time, you know, Eddie Ortiz thought he was a police officer himself. He used to always be around police officers all the time, you know, but as time go by, you know, we always had engagement with Eddie Ortiz and the fact that, you know, he certainly became the mayor of Estate Prophet, Omachichal. And if you wanted to find out anything about this community, if you had any questions about this community, come and ask Eddie Ortiz, and he will definitely direct your path. I remember one time we had an incident that happened here in Estate Prophet, and again, Eddie Ortiz was certain that he didn't want any shame or scorn brought in this community. And he said, "Don't worry, Chief, I don't get him for you. I don't get him for you." And while the police investigators were working on getting the warrant and arrest warrant and everything and the search warrant, Eddie Ortiz called one morning and said, "Y'all could come and get him. I already done what I need to do with him, and he's here." And we came and picked him up. So, you know, I think that Eddie Ortiz really contributed to this community. Again, he was very concerned about lights. He was very concerned about the residents. He was very concerned about the seniors, the roads. Anything that impacted or affected this community, Eddie Ortiz wanted to resolve that. If you wanted to get elected, every governor had to go through Eddie Ortiz in order to get elected. And of course, senators as well. So, you know, it was very easy for me when Senator Sanes brought the legislation 31-0342, which to honor Eddie Ortiz by naming this street, and this is Route 663. It's from the beginning to the end. That will be named the Edwin Eddie Ortiz Drive.
I woke up this morning with a smile on my face, not only because it's Hispanic Heritage, BIPR Friendship Celebrations, we've been doing them, you know. I have this joke about reincarnation, that if ever I had to come back to life after death, if I couldn't be a Virgin Islander, I want to be a Puerto Rican or a Trini. and the reason being is because these two sets of people really have a passion for life, you know, and you saw that in Eddie Ortiz. You know, I had the pleasure to know him because sometimes you go to things and you be like, what to say? You know, you're like the pastor at a funeral where the guy never been to church, so you don't know what to say about them. But, you know, you could say so much about him because he was such a passionate person. And, you know, I'm married to a Boricua, so it's like, you know, I feel the passion all the time. So, I get it. And it transcends a lot. But it's important because it's the richness of the community that really fires that up. And in Eddie, you saw that. And, you know, I met him through John DeYoung. You know, at the time, John was trying to get a job for somebody in the community. And I was like, what was the big deal with this person? You know, why are you harassing me? Because he don't normally call me about it. He's like, oh, God, it's Eddie Ortiz. I was like, who's Eddie Ortiz? So I had to come and meet the man and his family in order to understand who was Eddie Ortiz. Of course, then the NOPA went a lot faster. And he reminded me that one day I too may be running for governor and I would need a friend like Eddie Ortiz. So, I mean, I remember when he got sick and his passing. I mean, I really remember it. I mean, people say things, but I really felt it because he was such a great person, because he never missed an opportunity to reach out to somebody who had power to say, hey, you need to do this, or you need to do this, or you need to do this. And never really for himself. It was always about helping somebody else. He didn't need no help. He was good, Eddie was good. He didn't need any help. But he always reached out for somebody else, and I really appreciated that, and you could see the earnestness in him. And you always judge the tree by the fruit. And when you look at Miguel and Marito, you know, you look at Herminio Eze in the community, you see that tradition of giving kindness. You see the tradition of giving included. And as I look out through the crowd today, I notice one thing is missing. What's missing? No children. They're in school. It's important for us to remind our young people about people like Eddie Ortiz. Because Eddie Ortiz didn't have to run for the Senate or governor in order to be a leader. He didn't have to campaign and promise things in order to change his community. All he had to do was care enough to do a little bit more. And you see, people are doing that in our community now, but you know where they get that from? From watching us. From watching us. Because even as little children, you see, a little baby, what they like? Keys, cell phones, right? And remote controls. Little baby, always pick up a remote control. Always reaching for your keys and your cell phone. Why? Because those are the three things that we like. So we're training them, and they're watching all the time. So it's important that we train our community and our young people that this doesn't happen. It takes people constantly advocating. And it also teaches us, I think, what he's saying is, when you have people who don't get along with you. You know, I had a talk with somebody just in the, I was just getting some coffee, and I told them, they were telling me about one of my detractors. And I said, every time I see them, I hug them and kiss them up. And they said, what? I said, yes, because those people are keeping you on your toes. They're making sure you never go sleep. Because they want your job, or they want somebody else to get your job. Those people also have very valid points. You know, somebody might be saying 9 negative things about you that are not true, but there may be one thing that you need to be listening to. Maybe you do need to build a shanty a little bit bigger or reposition it. Maybe you do need to prioritize making sure that the schools have education that speaks to our culture. Those are the things that they're about. But leadership and advocacy are not necessarily tied to political offices. Every single day, people like Eddie Ortiz go out into our community and make things happen by just being passionate and caring about people.
This is News Channel 8.
This is the nimble Chevy Trax, the versatile Chevy Equinox, the stylish all-new Chevy Blazer, and the roomy Chevy Traverse with seating for up to 8. The Chevy family of SUVs. No matter what you're looking for in an SUV, Chevy's got you covered.
Get $3,500 total cash allowance on all 2019 Trax models. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
There are things you just want more of, like cat videos, your favorite series, vacations, delicious subs. That's why Subway brings you new 2 for $10 footlongs. Choose between 5 of our most satisfying, melty, and crave-worthy signature sub favorites. Get more of what you love. Every day from 4 p.m., come in for 2 for $10 footlongs. Make it what you want, only at Subway USVI restaurants.
We now have Omega XL. You don't need to suffer anymore. The natural anti-inflammatory power that is packed into the green lip muscle is so amazing that back in the 60s, even NASA researched it, searching for nutritional and medical benefits for astronauts. Omega XL will help your pain, and you can live the life you deserve. Omega-3 fatty acids are essential because the human body needs them for many functions, from building healthy cells to maintaining brain and nerve functions. Green lip mussels are rich in EPA and DHA-free fatty acids, which are needed to fight pain and inflammation. Omega XL is a pure, potent, and highly concentrated anti-inflammatory in a small, easy-to-swallow capsule. You don't need to suffer anymore. Omega XL will help your pain, and you can live the life you deserve.